Hey everyone, welcome back. Ever been in a situation that felt completely impossible? Like, you look at the problem, you look at your resources, and you just think, no way, this can't be done. Today, we're diving into a story just like that. One of the most incredible moments from the life of Jesus. Imagine this, a massive crowd, thousands of people, have followed Jesus to a remote mountainside near the Sea of Galilee. They've been listening to him teach all day, captivated by his words. But as the sun starts to dip low, a very real, very human problem arises. These people are hungry. We're not talking about a small group here. The Bible says there were about 5,000 men, and that's not even counting the women and children. So, we could be looking at a crowd of 10 to 15,000 people. Jesus turns to his disciple, Philip, and asks a simple question. Where can we buy bread for all these people to eat? He's testing him, wanting to see what Philip will say. Philip, being the practical guy, does some quick mental math. He looks at the sea of faces, and his mind just spins. He replies, even if we worked for 8 months straight, we wouldn't have enough money to buy just a small bite for each person. You can almost hear the panic in his voice, right? The scale of the need was just overwhelming. Then another disciple, Andrew, speaks up. He's found a little boy in the crowd. Here's a boy with 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish, he says. But then he immediately dismisses it, adding, but how far will they go among so many? Can you picture it? 5 small, flat barley loaves, probably the equivalent of dinner rolls, and 2 little fish, likely salted and dried like sardines. It's a child's lunch. It's nothing. It's laughably small compared to the hunger of thousands. This is the moment where logic says game over. The resources are nowhere near enough to meet the demand, but this is also the moment where Jesus shows that his economy works on a completely different principle. He doesn't panic. He doesn't dismiss the small offering. Instead, he tells his disciples, have the people sit down. So they all sit down on the grassy slopes, a massive audience waiting, probably wondering what's going on. Jesus then takes the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. He holds them, looks up to heaven, and gives thanks. He blesses this tiny meal. Then he starts breaking the bread and fish and gives them to the disciples to distribute. And then the miracle unfolds. The disciples start handing out the food, and it just doesn't run out. They go from person to person. And there's always more. Everyone eats. Not just a tiny bite like Philip worried about, but they eat until they are completely full. Every single person in that massive crowd has their fill. Think about the sheer abundance of that moment. The impossible became possible. But the story doesn't end there. Once everyone is satisfied, Jesus tells his disciples, gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted. So they go around and collect the leftovers from a meal that started with just a boy's lunch. And you know what they found? They filled 12 baskets with the broken pieces of bread and fish. 12 baskets. They started with next to nothing and ended with an overflow of abundance. This story is so much more than just a free meal. It's a powerful lesson. It shows us that when we bring our not enough, our small talents, our limited resources, our simple faith to Jesus, he can multiply it in ways we can't even imagine. That little boy's lunch seemed insignificant, but his willingness to give what he had became the key to a miracle. What's your 5 loaves and 2 fish? What small thing can you offer today? Remember, in God's hands, a little can go a very, very long way. Thanks for watching. We'll explore more incredible stories like this right here on Kingdom Chronicle.